You realize that every thought you think has the power to create fucking worlds, and you just used that sentence, the world creating powerful sentence, to call yourself fat.
What is up, my fellow dreamers and soul searchers? Welcome to the Roxy Talks Manifestation Podcast, your raw, unfiltered, and unapologetic source for all things manifestation related. I'm Roxy Lee, and for the last decade, I have been researching and developing my signature 360 method, which combines behavioral science, quantum physics, and the law of attraction to help you manifest a life beyond your wildest dreams. Visit roxytalks.com for more info. Now, let's get into it.
What is up, my fellow dreamers and soul searchers? Welcome to another episode of the Roxy Talks Manifestation Podcast, where we do the mindset work, we do the practical work, we do the energetic work to become bigger and better and happier and wholer and more fulfilled than we ever thought possible. We do this work because we have a dream, we have a mission, and we realize as a collective, as a group, as a unit, as a family, that we're only going to achieve these things if we make them happen, and that every moment we spend worrying, doubting, fearing what's coming next instead of choosing, we are squandering not only our power as God on earth, but also our time in this body, in this incarnation. And I know personally for me, I'm a woman. I grew up in the 90s with, the super thin models. Nowadays, there's a lot more representation for sizes. There's a lot more curvy people who are represented in the media. But when I was growing up, like when I was in middle school and high school, there were barely any curvy people there. It's so funny that Queen Latifah popped into my head. Queen Latifah, maybe one, we had no representation for women that were not stick thin. And everybody was like Kate Moss skinny. It was the thing. And I always felt so inadequate growing up because of my body style. And I spent so much of my time on this planet hating my body, not appreciating my body, not being able to see the beauty in it or the power in it or appreciate it for what it was. I was really affected by what I believed was perfection and the fact that I was not that. I struggled for a really long time as a youth and into my early adulthood with my body image and, doing every dieting and binging and starving and just this constant cycle of trying to be on a diet, not eating all day, then eating a whole bunch of food, feeling terrible, gaining weight, losing weight, gaining it back up and down, just this constant struggle. And I'm telling you all of this because now that I'm 40, I just turned 40 last week. That's why there was no episode last week, is because that was my actual birthday. And I was like, do I want to record? I was going to, and then I was like, no, I don't. I just want to do birthday. I just wanted to be in the energy of I felt so at peace on my birthday. And it's funny because I'm telling you the history of who I was before and, my 20s and maybe my early 30s. And to think as that woman, the woman in my 20s and early 30s, entering her 40s, feeling completely at ease and peaceful and just just totally appreciative and grateful and just chilling and just loving the moment and just being and just appreciating. That's literally all I did on my birthday. I really I just wanted to appreciate. And I did, and it was great, and I had a great birthday. But the way that I used to feel about my body, I don't feel that anymore. And part of it is, I've been vegan for 5 years. I only work out twice a week, but I used to never work out. So I work out twice a week. I'm vegan. I eat pretty healthy on the regular. So I'm at a point now where just my natural habits kind of take care of the body issues that I had for a long time. But I also did a lot of work over the last 5 years to rewrite my story about my body and how I feel about myself. And so part of me is like, I've really only had access to my power for like, I was going to say a couple years, but now I'm like a couple months. I don't even know. Like and honestly, I want you to think, because, you know, we're a community, we are a family. I'm here for you. I'm here for us. I'm here for the planet. We have work to do as a planet to get this place to a peaceful, loving, like, place where everybody can feel like that. I truly believe that everybody can get to a place and a point in themselves where they're just like, fuck yeah, I get to be me. Like, yes, I'm so glad I get to be me. And like, that's really what this episode is about, is like, when you realize, oh my God, I get to be me in this body, in this incarnation, with these skills, with this drive, with this knowledge, with these connections. You don't want to squander that. You do not want to waste another moment of it. I wasted at minimum, I don't want to say I wasted, but I will say I spent at minimum 35 years of my life, time, and power thinking that I was not good because of the amount of space my physical body took up. How fucking weird is that when you really think about it? I spent that portion of my life thinking that as God in a human body, I was worthless, or at least not worthy of everything that I wanted, because of how I looked and appeared to other people. Because people don't just decide that they're fat or they're ugly. They get told that, right? You get told that. Or you watch someone else get told that they're not that and realize, oh, no one's saying that to me. And I'm laughing now, but like, you know, if you're struggling with how you look or who you are or what you think your value is, I just want you to know that I get you and I understand. And also, no fucking excuses, because you are God walking around this planet, and don't you dare diminish your worth for 1 fucking second to me. Seriously, don't you dare. How dare you try to tell me that you are not 100,000% worthy and valuable of everything that you could ever desire that planet Earth has to offer. If you are here, you get to experience it, period. If you are here, you get to do what you want and have what you want, period. Repeat after me. I am here on Earth, so I get to do whatever the fuck I want. Hold on, let's back up. Because obviously, my caveat with all of this, when we find this information, is we use it for good, right? We always use this information for good, for the good of ourselves, everybody around us, and the planet at large. So this is why I'm always so like up people's asses about do the thing you love to do the most, because the more you do you, the more riches and wealth and abundance that you accumulate by doing the stuff you love, you have more opportunity to affect the world positively the ways that you want to see it done. So like for me, I have very specific visions of how I want this world to change. Every human has food, shelter, education, healthcare, mental and physical, and obviously the utilities to keep lights on and things like that, things that we need: water, lights, shelter, food, education, but not just education, this kind of education, energetic education. And they have the knowledge of how to support and treat each other. And I fully believe that if every human on the planet was given all of the basic necessities so that they were no longer in survival mode, they were given mental and physical health care so that they could handle the trauma and obviously take care of whatever physical ailments they may have, and they were given the knowledge of the truth of their power, this world would turn into a utopia. We would bring back the Renaissance. And what I mean when I say that is, imagine if every human on the planet was empowered and full of self-love enough to just go after and do the things that they were compelled to do by God and by the universe and by spirit and by their higher self. The real reason that we're on the planet, The real purpose that you have, purposes, I don't think that there's just one. I think we have a lot of things that we want to do on this planet. We have reasons to be here. And if every single human was no longer struggling, they were no longer starving, they were no longer hustling, they were no longer fearing, they were no longer warring, they were no longer hating themselves, they were no longer hating each other, what would they do with their time if they were empowered? They would do the things that light them up. They would bring innovation to the world. They would bring positive change to the world. Because the cool thing about this information is, like, once you really understand it, you don't have any desire to do harm on the planet, because you understand that doing harm just brings it back to you. Because the world's a mirror, and technically we're all just one person inside of one world. In reality, I'm here talking to myself and there's nobody else in my world. And I've said this before, but like, I don't even know which version of me you're interacting with. I don't even know what words of mine you're actually hearing. I may be just saying these words in my reality because they're for me. And in your reality, you're hearing your projection of my words. Maybe in your reality, I'm a zebra with pink stripes. But either way, we all have this opportunity in our own worlds to create whatever it is that we want. And if every person was more focused on how to make their own selves better and make their lives good, there would be no pain, there would be no sorrow, there would be no suffering, there would be no war. Obviously, outside of the general, you scrape your knee and shit like that, people pass away, it happens. But our planet can be and do so much good, and like advancing our species. If the reasons for doubt, worry, fear, insecurity were eliminated. So that's my view of the planet. And that's my ultimate goal, my ultimate purpose. And as I go through my life, and the more wealth and status and influence that I have, the more I'm able to help make this a reality, right? So I have to become a billionaire, right? I have to. Because what I'm going to do when I have those billions and I can get into rooms that I can't get into right now, I'm going to make this change on planet Earth. That's what I'm going to do with my influence, power, and billions of dollars. That is why it's crucial. It's fucking crucial. The planet needs me to do my dreams. The planet needs me to do my fucking dreams. Do you understand that? And you have the same thing within you. Whatever it is that you have within you, and it doesn't have to be, I want to end hunger and homelessness like mine and bring back the Renaissance. It doesn't have to be that at all. It could literally be, I want to, raise a family of people who love themselves and treat each other with kindness. I want to revolutionize how we use power. I don't know. I want to make sure that every person on the planet is in a loving relationship. Literally, it doesn't matter. Or it could be what you would consider small. It could be what you would consider huge. It's what is driving you forward. It's why you're here. It's the reason you do the things you do. And I'll tell you, I didn't know that I had this purpose until I was meditating every day for years. This purpose did not come to me until I was years into my daily meditation practice, and I had been meditating with my ideal self for 6 months. So for 6 months, I was visiting my ideal self and looking at my life and kikiing with her and being like, yes, let's build Roxy's empire. We're doing fashion. We're doing motivation. We're doing music. We have our products. So I have this empire, and I'm visiting my ideal self every day and seeing the empire. And then all of a sudden, and actually it was right before my 39th birthday. I think it was the day before last year. So pretty much exactly a year ago, I was shown a much bigger purpose. And they pulled back the curtain on this grander idea of, you're not just here to make music and fashion and inspire people. You are here to change the world and to save the planet. And I was like, oh, oh, okay, fine. Because Earth is my homegirl. I meditate with her sometimes and I love her and obviously want to protect her and keep her safe. She's so generous and gives so much of herself to us. And so I was like, okay, fine. As the kids say, bet. Okay, bet. And I was like, fine, cool. My purpose is to change the fucking world. Great, perfect. Let's do it. And so ever since November of last year, 2022, I have had a much bigger perspective of my purpose and my reason for being on the planet. But I could not have gotten to that if I was still obsessed with, oh, my body looks like this. Oh, I'm not good enough for blah. I wish I was looking like this. Blah. All that fucking nonsense, bullshit, waste of energy, waste of space, waste of fucking power, waste of God's ultimate creative power. What a waste. And I don't mean that to disparage myself. And I don't mean that to like put down anybody that's feeling that way. But also, we need to understand that that is such a waste of your fucking power. You realize that every thought you think has the power to create fucking worlds. And you just used that sentence, the world creating powerful sentence, to call yourself fat. That's what you just did with that moment of opportunity to create any world you could fathom, and you created a world where you're fat and fucking unloved. I'm sorry, I'm laughing. I'm laughing because if you've seen the Barbie movie, I love the Barbie movie. I was Barbie for Halloween. I've watched it probably at least 20 times. My husband and I we watched it twice just yesterday. We watch it all the time. And when I don't want to give anything away, but I'm seeing weird Barbie in my head when I was saying that. And there's a scene where somebody, I'm not going to give anything away, says, I'm ugly and unloved just like you. Ugly and unwanted just like you. And I always crack up at that scene in that moment. And that's what it showed me in my mind, was like, you have all this tremendous co-creative power and you're using it to be like, I'm ugly and unwanted. Wah! And I know it's not funny, but it is. And like, let's bring some levity to it, because you're creating the world and you're using your creative power to create a world where you're ugly and unloved. How fucked up is that? We can't do that anymore. You can't use your power for that anymore. Why is this so funny to me right now? Like, human beings, we're so ridiculous. You can do anything with your words, including saying, I'm fit, sexy, and loved, and desired and worthy. But no. I would rather use it to say, I'm not those things and fuck me. So today is your permission. Can today be the last day we stop talking shit about ourselves to ourselves and to other people? Can today be the last day you stop putting yourself down for how you look, for how you sound, for how you talk, for how you write, for how you work, for what you're doing, for what you're not doing? Can you just stop treating yourself like shit? Can you just stop treating yourself in ways that you would never treat another human being? Can you stop? Or maybe you are treating people the way you treat yourself, and that gives you permission to treat people like shit because you treat yourself that way. Can we stop? Can we stop? Because you cannot unlock God's creative power when you feel that way. And I'm telling you this because, hold on, I'm seeing connections made in my head. Hold on, guys. Because listen, because now some things are being shown to me. Here's another thing that happened last year around this time. In October, or maybe September of 22, my husband and I were invited to a wedding in Palm Springs, which was like a pool party, basically. It was like the wedding was actually at the pool. It was like around the pool. It was gorgeous. So we had to go to a pool party last year, and that's why I started working out. So around maybe August of last year, I started working out, and I've been doing it for a year now. And in that time of working out, I also realized, okay, I have to change my mindset. I have to change my self-talk about how I'm talking about myself, because I can't hold on to the story of I weigh this much, I'm this or that thing, this is what food does to me, I can't have this because it's a bad food, if I eat this, it's going to make me gain weight. I can't have those thoughts and then work out work out and like not have those thoughts counteract the work I'm doing, in the gym, the home gym. So I realized that I really needed to align my thoughts to my actions because my actions were actually doing something. I was doing good with my actions. I was liking my workout. We were getting into a routine. We were seeing results, but my mindset needed to change. So I started working on the story of, believing in my body. And I could be wrong on the timeline. I could have started working on that before, but everything kind of happened in 2022 where I started changing the way I thought about my body. I started changing my definition of how food worked. Like I can eat anything and still have the body I want. I weigh this much. This is my actual normal weight. And like kind of just changing my whole history and story with how I talked about my body. I was working out regularly. And because I dropped this story about what I'm not good enough for based on my body, then I was given this bigger purpose. And now I'm seeing these, like I said, I'm seeing these ties being drawn together, these lines coming together of when I stopped diminishing my power and worthiness because of how I looked or how I felt like I looked, then I had room. I had room in my mind for bigger thoughts. I had a better appreciation for myself and I believed in myself more. So I was able to unlock a bigger purpose than I had ever seen before. And if you follow me on Instagram, you might remember a few weeks ago, I put up a post that was like how I knew I was supposed to be more than just a pop star. And that's kind of the thing I'm talking about is like my dreams were really just like be a pop star. And then I started my business and it was like, okay, be a pop star and have a motivational business. And then I'm like, okay, have your fashion line, right? It was just still just me kind of doing the things I wanted to do, right? Like it wasn't about the planet yet. And I did have the goal, like I've always said from the beginning of this business, my goal is to help every single person on the planet know that they're in complete control of their reality. That hasn't changed. But I saw more. I saw more. I saw myself again ending hunger, ending homelessness, ending violence, ending war. That's a radical belief to have, to hold that I am able to do all those things in my lifetime, especially at the age of 40. Meaning that I've already gone 40 years. So again, when I said in the beginning, wasting that time, I can't waste any more time. It's fucking now or never. It's shit or get off the pot every fucking day for the rest of my existence on planet Earth. Oh my gosh. Wow. Sorry, that was a realization I'm having on my own right now in this moment. For me, I don't have a day to fucking waste. Every day matters, and it matters for you. Every day matters. Every moment matters. Are you using your moments to think that you are an all-powerful creative force, or are you using your moments to think, I'm meh, 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 or somewhere in between? This is a question. I want you to think about it. What are you using your co-creative power to do? And not just right now, because this is easy to find out right now. It's easy to know what you're doing right now because I'm asking you. But what are you going to do at 11:33 when you're driving? I don't know who drives at 11:30. I don't know. I'm just making times up. You're in your car and you're driving and you're in traffic. Then what? You wake up in the morning and you step on the scale. Then what? You're having a fight with your partner. Then what? You check your bank account and it's lower than you want it to be. Then what? Then what do you think about yourself? Then who do you think you are? Then what do you think your power is? And all those times and more. Every moment of the day. Who the fuck are you being? Are you being a want bitch, or are you being God's fucking creative power in human form? You get to decide, and you get to be that every moment of every fucking day if you let yourself. This is why it's like, why would you waste a day? How could you ever go a day without meditating? How could you do that to yourself? How could you fucking do that to yourself? How could you waste that time and that opportunity? So I really want you to think. This episode, I just want you to think. I just want to open the door and I want you to leave it open. And I want you to let whatever comes through, come through. It doesn't need to come through in this moment. But this episode is for you to really, really analyze what the fuck you came here to do and what you're doing with your time. Are you doing it? Are you proud of what you're doing with your time day in and day out? Are you proud of what you're doing with your mind day in and day out? So think about these things. Go deep with it. Maybe journal on it if you want. You can leave a comment on Spotify. Let me know how this episode resonated with you. You can DM me on Instagram and let me know if you have answers to these questions. I'd love to hear it. Because again, my purpose is to change the world. And I believe that the way that I'm going to do that isn't just by like me changing the whole world on my own. It's through empowering you. Because if I empower millions to do the thing that they're going to do to improve the world, that's going to affect billions of people, right? It's the ripple effect. Is that a thing? The ripple effect? It is now. We're creating a ripple of positive change and good energy and joy on the planet. That's how I change the world. And that's why it's so important for me. Everybody needs to know they're in complete control of their reality. It rolls off my tongue because I've said it 1,000 fucking times, but it's my truth. Everybody needs to know this. We can't not know this. The whole planet needs to know this. And they also every human needs and deserves food. And if you think I'm wrong on that, I don't know what the fuck you are doing. Every human deserves a roof over their heads. Every human deserves utilities and power and water. And I'm sorry, if you don't believe that, like, what the fuck are you doing? No human is better than the other. It doesn't matter where you're born. Nothing matters. Every human deserves peace. They deserve education. They deserve food, shelter, health care, water. Every human. And the fact that it is 2024 and we have homelessness, we have these wars going on, we have people living in extreme poverty. That is fucking insane to me because that could be ended very easily. So that's why it's my job. It's part of my job because, like, that's the way I see it. It can be ended really easily and it's going to be, period. What's next? What's next on the fucking agenda? We're doing it. So what is your dream? What is outside? What's just beyond you talking shit about yourself? What's just beyond you putting yourself down and thinking that you're worthless, or unworthy? What is just beyond that? Because when I took out all of the thoughts that were telling me that I wasn't good enough because of my body and just made space and told myself that actually my body's great and everything's perfect and we're all good there, I now open myself up for such bigger opportunities. I open myself up for a much grander purpose. And the cool thing is I still get to do the things I want to do. I still get to do Roxy Fashion. I still get to do Roxy Talks. I still get to do Roxy Sings. I get to do the things I want to do and the things I love to do because they make me feel so joyful to be on the planet. And that feeling is key to my power. My power is unlocked when I know that I'm the co-creative force of God, when I allow myself to be free and to think that I am capable of doing whatever the hell I want to do, and when I put myself into joy and peace and appreciation. That's how I change the world, and that's how you change the world. So as you're letting this episode sink in, I want you to come back because I'm feeling, it's funny because I'm seeing people come to me over time. I'm seeing people come back in a month and be like, do you remember that podcast episode where you talked about shedding the insecurities. You talked about your body and you were like, once I stopped thinking that, I had room for the grander vision and it came through. Here's what mine was. And I'm seeing you guys come back like a month later to tell me this, which is great. So let this land, let it soak in, let it soak up. And I want you to think about, why are you fucking here? Why did God put on your meat suit? Why? Why you? Because do you understand how incredible you have to be for God to be like, I'm going to go to earth and be that? That's my avatar. When God could do anything and be anyone, and they chose to be you, bitch, you better quit acting like you're nothing. There's a sign from God right there. You're so fucking magical. And I need you to know it. I need you to hear it, because we can't unlock the power of the planet if you don't believe in yourself, right? Like, that's the whole thing. We teach people to believe in themselves. So I just got like a wave of warm fuzzies just thinking about it. I can't wait to hear back from you. Please share your takeaways from this episode with me on Instagram, or go ahead and leave a comment on Spotify. If you are ready to take that leap and actually begin making your world-changing moves, bigbeautifuldreams.com. This is the space that I've cultivated to kind of take the leap from the matrix, or from the 9 to 5, or from the hustle, from the grind, from the old limited thinking before you understood your power, and go into, I am fucking God in a human body. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want mode. And you want to know how to build your empire. You want to know how to start your business. You want to know how to bring in money doing what you love. Because remember, we talked about that, being in joy, how important that is. You want to know how to bring in money from your joy and not spend 8 hours a day hating your life, co-creating a world you don't like. Remember what we talked about? Like, with the body thing, oh, I hate my body. Like, that's what you're using. You're using your co-creative sentence in that moment to say the world you're creating. It's the same thing when you're at your job and you're like, I fucking hate this place. You are using God's creative power to keep yourself shackled into a place you don't like. So bigbeautifuldreams.com. This is where you're going to bust loose from that. You're going to break free from the 9 to 5, break free from the matrix. You're going to build your own business. You're going to start your empire. You are going to bring in money from your passions with an amazing, supportive family of people who are just like you. Everybody in there is on this same process too. Everybody in there is creative as fuck. They have so many amazing ideas. They're so supportive. You should see the friendships and the bonds that are made. I see people that are like, oh yeah, on our Zoom chat, we did this. And oh yeah, I'm going to call you on this day. People are making real, genuine connections in the world with other humans who get them, other humans that are on the same trajectory as them. Okay. So it's a wonderful place. I absolutely love it. I obviously cultivated it to be that way. And just so you know, I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm a vibe queen. My home is vibey. Every social gathering I host is a vibe. I always bring together really amazing personalities and people. I've always been like a host. I have gotten couples together that have gotten married. I've always been a really good matchmaker. I just have this really amazing ability to bring the right people together. So I'm just tooting my own horn a little bit, but it's because the Big Beautiful Dreams Club is also that space. So everybody in there is amazing, is rad, is inspiring, is kind, is supportive, is uplifting. You're going to get so many ideas, and you're going to have people that get you in that space. Plus, you get time with me to help with your business, ask me questions, and there's all kinds of courses in the program already to help with you building your business, with your money mindset, up-leveling, all that shit. So bigbeautifuldreams.com is my space for you. I would love to see you in there. Thank you so much for checking out this episode. This one's so important. They're all important. They're all fucking important. What am I saying? Of course, everything I say is so important. I want you to start thinking like this about yourself, okay? You are a world changer. You are here for a reason. Let me fucking have it. I love you so much. We're all raising our vibrations together. You have the power. I believe in you. I will see you next week.